What is up, obscure tech folks? Bark coming at you yet again. HIDIZS is back. HIDIZS is back! They sent me stuff. First off, they sent me the AP80 Pro X DAC. Digital audio player, high resolution portable music player. It's got all kinds of fancy stuff there in the holograms. We've got high-res audio, high-res wireless, MQA, LDAC, all that good stuff. And it's, it's a music player. You could put music on it. And it's so little. It is so tiny. You can see my fingerprints on it. I've been rubbing up on it a little bit. I'll show you that in a minute. Comes with a USB A to C charging cable. Comes with a little HIDIZS branded C to C cable. Registration card, all that good stuff. Other than that, it doesn't come with much. It's pretty bare bones. Look at the size of this thing. Look at me in the size of this thing. Look, it's like a Inception style video. It's endless. Endless. That was pretty cool. It's got buttons on the side. Volume rocker. It's glass on the back. AP80 Pro X. This thing comes in about $100. It takes a micro SD card, has a USB-C port for charging and headphone connection if you got some USB-C headphones. HIDIZS has sent me over a USB-C DAC I've had on the channel. Works great with this. We've also got a 3.5 out and a balanced 2.5 out, which is what I used for a reason. You power this thing on, you get the HIDIZS logo, a little startup animation, and then you get the player, step counter, Bluetooth. You can read books on this thing. I don't know about reading them books. Now listen, this thing is pretty basic as far as like navigation goes. I think it works well enough. I'll get the overhead on us. All right, so here's the player itself. Scrolling up. All that good stuff. System settings about. If you go into system settings, you can change the language, the music database update, the brightness, the backlight, the color theme, the font size, USB mode for storage or audio or dock. We're going to change that to dock because that's where I had it before. USB current limited, button, operation, idle timer, sleep timer, just basic stuff. Standby, inline remote, blah, 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 blah. Firmware update, factory reset, all that good stuff. Pretty basic. Yeah, so if you swipe up from the bottom, you've got some modes here. You can do, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, just need to fix some autofocus. Okay, so the second button is gain. You can toggle from low to high. That's for your headphone gain. USB dock, you can change that USB mode right there. And then you can also hit the line out mode, fixes volume near maximum. Please ensure that no headphones are connected. Continue. Cancel. You can hit play. You get your brightness. You got your volume over here. Pretty nice little player. And like I said, bottom there, you got that balance connection. I really, really enjoy that. Like, yeah, this is not a super high-end DAP, but it's pretty darn convenient. And it's a good price. And so far, all the IEMs I've tried on it sound really good. Now, HIDIZS did also send me over some C Anemone high-end silicone ear tips. And I must say, I love them. I absolutely love them. They are just what they look like on here. They got the seafoam green inner and then the silicone outer. And I like them a lot. I don't know the price on these ear tips yet. All right. The big thing that HIDIZS has sent over, the MK12 IEMs. Brand new, not released yet. About $120 when I looked, but coupons putting them closer to $100. Let's take a look at these real quick. MK12 TURRIS. They are a single driver IEM 12mm magnesium alloy diaphragm. Boom. They look like leaves or something off of the Predator's costume. Magnesium power, pure sonic evolution. Underneath of those, we get an array of tips. Vocal ear tips, balanced ear tips, bass ear tips. That's a nice touch. I used some of these. I ended up preferring the C Anemone ear tip. Ear remix. Ear to tips. Which I have on now. Take those out of there. Show you these. All metal. Kind of heavy. Kind of predatory. There's the C Anemone tips on there. pull its skirt up a little bit so you can see that. These are really nice. Really nice. Really like them. Now, granted, you guys know I've only done budget IEMs so far. So I'm sure there's other stuff that I would be super impressed with. But these are definitely impressive. They're not as lightweight as other IEMs I've reviewed on the channel because they are metal and because they are kind of heavy. There's the thickness of these thick boys, if you can see that. A little clicky clack of the metal so you can hear that. Really, really nice. When I saw them, I thought that's an interesting look. I hope they sound good because I wasn't sure about the looks. Pretty cool though. Underneath there, we got more stuff. It comes with the leather pouch that we all know and love. And here is the cable. Now, there's going to be an add-on here, but the cable they sent over in the MK12, pretty good quality. The cable that comes with them, it is a 4.5. It's 4.5 aux cable, TURRIS, balanced. So, HIDIZS did send me over. I asked them how I was supposed to do balance because the AP80 Pro X doesn't have a 4.5 millimeter. We got 3.5, 2.5. So they sent over a identical cable for the MK12, but it's a 3.5. So that was cool. Not balanced. I have used it and I like the sound. It was pretty good, but I was just too curious. So I went on Amazon. I'll link this too, and got a 4.5 to 2.5 balanced adapter, and this for me is the way to go. Never mind the fact that I got really lucky and it just matches up pretty darn well with the actual cable itself. So little 2.5 balance connection right in there. Beautiful listening experience. Beautiful. So here's my review of these. You guys have seen what I've done on the channel. I've done a lot of cheap IEMs. I've got more cheap IEMs in the pipeline. And by cheap, we're talking $10 to $20 cheap. And I've been blown away and nothing but impressed for what you can get in the IEM market for $10 to $20. Stuff that rivals headphones that are $100, $150 over ears like these Sennheisers. IEMs not only rival them, a lot of the times they make them not usable for music purposes because the IEMs are just better. They're just better, even at 10 and 20 bucks. So my first jump up in price range to the $100, which is still considered budget in the IEM world, and I am happy. Now, would I say that like you should stop buying $10 to $20 IEMs and go up to the $100 range? I would not, because I still think what you're getting for $10 to $20 is absolutely outstanding. That being said, these things with that balanced connection into that DAP, even though that's a cheap DAP, we're talking all budget gear here still. But my God, if it doesn't sound absolutely magical for what you're paying. I went back and forth between my iPhone with Apple Music lossless and this with the balance connection lossless music loaded. I've got, I'll tell you what I got here. Pretty much Korn's whole discography, Childish Gambino's whole discography, Fiona Apple's whole discography. I've got Hotel California from the Eagles because that's one of those like Google search what to test IEMs with, like Hotel California pops up in a lot of those searches. So why not add it on there? I've got Ghost, their whole discography. I've got Turnstile's new album, Never Enough. I have some classical music on here. Yeah, that's what I got. It's kind of hard. Using a DAP is weird because you actually have to have the music downloaded to load it onto this. Like, not my typical jam, but you know what? It makes me want to make it my typical jam because even lossless on Apple, no matter what combination of USB DAC or USB cable or headphones or this digital audio player from HIDIZS kind of knocked it out of the water no matter what I did because of that balance connection. Whatever magic is in that balance connection is actual magic. And for music listening purposes, I do wish that I had access to everything on this. I wish, and I'm sure there is, but I would love to see a player that had Wi-Fi, that was built on Android, that had the App Store, that had these. I'm sure it's out there. It's not this one. Now, for the price, I think that the AP80 Pro X is absolutely fantastic for the price. It's a great entry point in getting into DAPs with balanced connections and multiple connections. USB-C 3.5, most phones don't have 3.5 anymore. So if you have a library of music, I think this is a fantastic device to have starting out. I also think to utilize it fully, the MK12 TURRIS is a fantastic set. They are now my favorite set. So they have taken the top spot regardless of price, regardless of budget. These with those C anemone ear tips are currently my jam. Now, I have a set of IEMs that come pretty close to matching these on the cheaper end. Those will be upcoming. But the fact of the matter is I'd still choose these, and I would still pay the price for these. They just feel durable. They feel quality. With that cable, with that player, I can throw that all in my pocket and just go. And I am very, very impressed. I am also highly impressed with the adapter that I got from Amazon. It was not expensive. I think it was like $10. It's been fantastic too. No popping, no clicking, no none of that. But yes, anyways, the sound signature. These are V-shaped, but it is mildly V-shaped. It is just a little bump in the bass, little bump in the treble, little bit of retraction in the mids. There's a nice little touch of air to these, but it's not too airy to keep everything from sounding full. It's full, slightly open, and just magical on that balance connection for a $100 pair of IEMs. Again, clear, concise. I like the slight bump in bass because I want to at least feel it a little bit, and I think these nailed that for people who want to feel it just a little, and for people that want those vocals to be lifted just a little bit with the treble bump. I always want my vocals lifted just a tiny notch above the music, and then I want the high-pitched parts of the music, the tings, the dings, the sizzles to come through and match those vocals, and I feel like the MK12s do that beautifully. I think HIDIZS has a massive hit on their hand with the right push here. I think for the price, these are fantastic. Again, do I have experience with a ton of IEMs in their price range? I do not. But again, this is a great starting point. This is a starting point that made my eyes open wide and say, okay, I like these cheap IEMs a ton. I also am fully willing to make a $100 investment to upgrade, and then we'll see where that goes. Maybe I upgrade again and again and again. And before you know it, there's 10 grand in my ears. That's not going to happen, but you also never know. I could desire to have something super expensive in my ears, but for now, these are more than good enough. They're fantastic. HIDIZS, thanks for sending them over. I think they kind of nailed these. I think they punch well above their weight. I have no qualms, no issues. I can't even really nitpick at the sound of these at all, even though they're just $100. There's nothing I can nitpick on. I can't really necessarily say I want more of this or more of that until I hear a set that points out the flaws in these. I can't find any flaws in these. So, HIDIZS, good on you. Obscure Tech folks, thanks for watching. Also, the player, you can get these used for like $60. I think that's a pretty good investment too if you have a music library. So, as a starting point, I'm sure there's better out there because there are things I wish this would have done that it doesn't do. But at the same time, it being this small, this portable, and just being able to throw my SD card in it and go with that balance connection, I have no problem with that. HIDIZS, thanks again for sending them over. Obscure Tech folks, thanks for watching. I think I said that already, but whatever. Peace out.